good to see you back.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
thanks. It's nice to be back too, Alan.
A couple of years since the first solo album.
Yeah.
And with the second solo album that has a title like No Baggage, there's got to be something, a story there. There's got to be some.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's kind of like tongue-in-cheek a little bit, but really what it is was that basically I really opened up my heart, and it's almost like confessional, but it's kind of getting rid of the skeletons and the demons, and it's kind of talking about the fears and the fragility and the weaknesses inside my heart and inside most humans' hearts, really. But I suppose, right, when I look back on the journey of my life, and, you know, it's relative to my journey and whatnot, my life was quite different to most people, obviously, because of Cranberries and getting so famous so young. But, you know, the first album was really big. We'll say that was like 6 million copies. And then I went back into the studio with the boys, and that was, the second album was 14 million. Huge pressure, you know, and I was quite lonely because I'd been on this bus with these boys for 4 or 5 years. And then it was like, okay, third album now. So went back, started doing the third album, and I developed all kinds of anxieties, and you know, I had insomnia, and I lost tons of weight, and I couldn't sleep, and then I had a nervous breakdown. So I did the third Cranberries album, but you could look at the sleeves, actually, you could see the photographs. I looked like hell, you know, I looked awful. But when I had the nervous breakdown, then I was 24, and I decided that, you know, I was going to take time out and get away from it. And when I was 25, then I had my first child, and he's 11 and a half. And that was great because it helped me to get better. Having a baby, it motivated me. It made me interested in life.
A different focus than your career and yourself and what everybody was expecting from you.
The fame was really hard, you know, because as I got bigger, I felt more pressure. And then as I felt more pressure, I developed kind of problems, like mental stress problems. And then when I got the problems, the press were writing about it and putting it in the front cover. She's anorexia, she's this, she's that. And then it all just got worse, you know. And then the paps were following me everywhere, and I just started, it was like going mad, you know what I mean?
How old are you? You were 24, 25?
I was only 24. Yeah, because I was only like 18 when the Cranberries started. Mike was 16, Noel was 17, I was 18. So we were all kids. I mean, I was in school. So it was very fast, and we were very young. And then, you know, I kind of lost my life. You know, it used to be I'm a girl with all my friends in school, and suddenly I'm massive and I'm everywhere I go. And it was like I was two people, you know, and it was kind of weird, you know. And so then I suppose when I was 24, then, you know, I saw a lot of shrinks, and they, you know, I was like, you know, I was saying to them, you know, is it, am I mad? And they were going, no, your life's mad. And they were like, no, we actually, there's shrinks that actually see famous people and help them to deal with it. And I was like, okay, can you turn off the button, switch it off now? But you can't, right, you know. So anyway, I suppose then, you know, I had my son and I started to get better, and I brought out more albums, but I felt that at that point in my life, I put up a big wall around me, an emotional wall, and I didn't really trust the world in a way to open up my heart and to show him any vulnerable sides of me. Because, you know, as well as being successful and all that, you get criticised, you know. You get, like, throw the stones type thing. So it's not all good, you know what I mean? There's the bad side too. And then I felt that, you know, I brought out another couple of Cranberries records, but it was all kind of fairly careful, lyrically and emotionally and whatnot, just kind of. And I think we were kind of going through the motions towards the end, and we did the greatest hits. And then I took the 7 years off and brought out Are You Listening during that period. But I think in the 7 years, I learned to open up again. I learned to get over the past.
Well, you've also
to move on.
Completely redone a lot of your lifestyle. I mean, you still have a home in Ireland.
Yeah.
You have a home in Canada.
Yeah.
And that home is out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so it's brilliant. You know, I know that I have my safety zone now, where I can be me, you know. And, you know, I've got the kids, right? Because I must admit, like, when the Cranberries were massive, I'd lost all my friends. I mean, there was no emails, no mobile phones. They all went to college. And I went off with a bunch of lads in a bus, so I was actually really quite lonely. It's hard to believe it, right? But you're in hotels all day long doing interviews and stuff, right? But it was actually quite lonely. And so in the last 7 years, I really kind of got in touch with a lot of my old friends, and I kind of found the simple things in life, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you missed out on that whole late adolescent, early adulthood. You know, what normal people would do is hang out together. They would, you know, go down to the pub and have pints together. They would, you know, hang out on Friday nights and watch videos, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I used to hear it when you know, when I met my friends later. But sometimes I hear people talking about college parties. I used to be thinking, wow, that'd be cool. But I was under a microscope. And that was hard to actually grow up and be normal when you're underneath a microscope, you know.
And the press was vicious.
Oh, wicked, man. But that's just the nature of the game, you see. You got the good with the bad. But the truth is, you cannot erase the past, you can't change the past, you can accept the things you cannot change, and you can move forward with a bit of faith and a bit of positivity, and you can open up your heart and become the person who you initially were before it all happened, the person that the people liked before.
See, that's such good Irish redemption talk.
Do you know what I'm talking
about?
about?
Yes, I do,
though?
exactly, yeah.
So it's been a bit of a journey, so that's why the journey is the journey, and Switch Off the Moment is about like stress and stuff like that. So this album, it's very much about like just a lot of philosophy and psychology and stuff, really.
Stuff that you've come to realize and come to hold dear over the last 7 years.
And realise that I'm not the only one. Like, people in other jobs have the same kind of trips and stuff in life.
Somebody who works at a fast food restaurant or a bank has the same kind of anxieties. It's just...
Yeah, it's just kind of different set of, worries and whatnot,